Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Angry Guys ranting and reviewing The Lone Ranger. I'm Brad.
I'm Jason.
And
we're still here.
We're still here, and we're still complaining about this movie. Basically, the point I wanted to make was the ridiculous budget. So we've already established that they spent over $200 million on this piece of crap movie. Now, I know that some of you may not know much about the business side of filmmaking and Westerns specifically, because let's face it, they don't make that many Westerns anymore.
No.
So I was thinking about a few Westerns that I've seen in the past, 10 years or so. The past decade, there haven't been a lot, but there have been a few that just, popped in my head right away. I went ahead and looked them up. So first of all, my favorite that came out about 10 years ago, a little Australian Western called The Proposition, starring Guy Pearce, and it was really cool about this outlaw, and the sheriff lets him go, but he has to go hunt down his brother for him, because his brother's an even worse criminal than he is. So the cop is basically like, I'll let you live if you go kill your brother. And he's like, okay, I hate the guy anyway. So it's a cool little Western. Anyway, the budget on that movie, just to give you some perspective, was $2 million.
There you go.
And it was great. Now, the remake that you love so much of True Grit.
Oh, yeah, because it was so amazing.
Right. So the horrible remake of True Grit, that movie cost $38 million. Just to give you an idea. So $38 million.
And it was a piece of shit. But
right.
Still.
The most expensive Western that came out recently, probably because they had to pay Russell Crowe's paycheck, but 310 to Yuma, that was $55 million.
And that wasn't even that great, to be honest with you. It was all right.
It was all right, but still, $50 million.
$50 million.
No big deal. And the one that is probably most kind of like what we just watched, The Lone Ranger, Jonah Hex, with Josh Brolin.
Which, I actually like that movie.
Yeah,
I love to hate that movie.
It is so weird.
That is a weird movie, but a fun movie to just, I don't know. There's something hypnotic about it. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's a movie where even if it's a piece of crap, you're still interested in watching it. Right. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. It was certainly more fun to watch than this piece of garbage.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, Jonah Hex was $47 million. So
considered to be a flop, though. It was considered to be a disaster.
Yeah, and that Kevin Costner movie, Open Range, that was $22 million.
Failed.
Yeah, it didn't do great either.
But I mean,
but just so you
again,
know,
these
usually,
movies...
these westerns I'm talking about, it's about $20 to $40 million. All these movies that I just mentioned, The Proposition, True Grit, Open Range, Jonah Hex, 310 to Yuma, add them all up, all of them together, and that is not the budget of The Lone Ranger. Just so you know, The Lone Ranger cost more than all those other movies put together, and it's worse than any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway.
Oh, yeah. By far and away. This movie has to be probably one of the worst, not just Westerns, but one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen. Is it really a surprise that this movie flopped? I mean, this movie offers nothing.
It's got some beautiful locations.
The scenery is great.
Is good.
The acting isn't even really that bad. I'm not even going to be that much of a... Well, with some of the actors... I'm sorry, the Lone Ranger, whoever they got for that, piece of shit.
Arnie Hammer.
Arnie
That's
Hammer.
the guy's name.
Well, obviously, Brad's the brains of this. I'm not. I'm the blue-collar guy. I'm giving you my knee-jerk reaction, and I'm telling you the guy sucked. Johnny Depp was god-awful. It's probably one of the worst movies he's ever been in. The extras were way better. Even some of the other unknown people that were in it, they're known, but they're like anonymously famous. Milton from Office Space. I'm not sure that actor's name, but you know what I'm talking about. He was good. The guy from Go, good. All right, but as a whole, the acting was all right. The costuming was good, but this is one of these things where it's like you have the stage set waiting for a good Western to happen, and it never does. It never shows up, ever. At no point does a good Western show up. You keep thinking, wow, this would be great, man. I mean, look at the scenery with this. And but it never happens. It never comes together. Ever.
No.
The movie just sucks all the way through. All the way through.
And when we're talking all the way through, this movie is fucking long.
Oh, it's long. That's another part. The running time. And if I'm not mistaken, like you had said, part of the reason why the critics hated it so much was the runtime. Yeah. And it wasn't just critics. People in general cannot sit there for almost 3 fucking hours watching a Western. That is stupid. That's insane. Who does that? Yeah. Bruckheimer. That's who does that. That guy in his long-ass movies, you know, I mean, I'm not sure what the runtime is on the Pirates movies, but I'm sure it's pretty much in the same.
They were all.
They're all long. In that big, long, epic thing. Like, you know, you just can't. And you know, I know we're going on a rant here. We were kind of actually supposed to be talking about you know, this does fit into Bruckheimer, and you know, we're supposed to be talking about the actors, but when you sit here and you spend 2.5 hours of our lives explaining every little loving detail about the Lone Ranger, like you're insulting people. You think people are stupid, that they can't figure this out. Like we sit here, and I'm sorry, spoiler alert, folks, but we spend 2 hours waiting to understand why the Lone Ranger wears a mask. Like that couldn't have been done in 5, 10, 15 minutes. You couldn't sum that up. We need to know. I mean, this is an origin story. All right, I get that. That's fine. But really, 2 hours? And that's part of the problem. Is, oh God, this movie has so many problems. I mean, you know, the guy, the Lone. We'll jump to the Lone Ranger himself. He sucked. He was awful. The actor was bad. And initially, when we talked about this, when we saw this movie coming out, I defended the guy because the movies, sorry, Disney, when you people put this movie out, you made it all about Johnny Depp. It was Johnny Depp as Tonto. Johnny Depp as Tonto. That's all we saw. Never mind the Lone Ranger. Never mind introducing so-and-so. You know, never mind. You were more interested in pushing Johnny Depp than this poor guy. And I felt bad. But really, I don't feel so bad anymore because this guy is awful. The way he portrayed the Lone Ranger was a buffoon and bratty. Those are the 2 words I thought of the most. And in the 2 days that we've watched this, yes, 2 days it has taken us to watch this piece of crap because we have lives and, you know, 2 days to watch this film. This guy was nothing more than a whiny, bratty, and there's our 15. Shall I keep going?
Yeah. Finish your thought, definitely.
Whiny and bratty and just, the Lone Ranger is supposed to be a hero. Okay? He's supposed to be a hero. There's nothing heroic. There is nothing heroic. Even when this guy gets his shit together, he's never heroic. He's whiny, and it's just, oh my lord. I mean, you know, I mean, I'm even amazed that they even allowed for the guy's theme song in this movie without offering some kind of explanation of why that wasn't going. You know, I mean, this movie could have been an hour and a half.
I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me if somebody had been like, you know, hey, what's that music you're listening to, kid? Well, that's my favorite song, the William Tell Overture.
You know, William Tell Overture.
Yeah,
they played that when I graduated grade school.
Yeah,
back in 18 whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't have surprised me if that had been enough. Oh man, they had to explain the entire thing. Oh, and then if
I'm so over it,
they didn't have enough stupid shit to explain already. They had to start adding things like the dead bird on Tonto's head. And
what's her name's leg?
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
that annoyed us. I think the most, just because it was the most immediate explanation, like this alluding to this guy being the Wendigo and the flesh eater and all this crap. And you know, get back what he stole from me, and immediately we see this mannequin leg with a gun in it, and it has to flash up to a picture of her in a ballerina outfit. Who gives a shit like that? Stop it.
Here's the thing. Marla didn't even need to be in this movie.
No. Okay. It was a cameo.
Helena Bonham Carter, her character, it would have cut a little runtime off of this fucking movie, which was way too long anyway, if they had just completely cut her character out. She served no purpose. I mean, what was her big role at the end? She like blew up a thing.
Yeah, she blew up a wagon train.
Yeah,
she snipes a wagon train with a foot.
They could have done that in some other way. They could have set off the charge.
Yeah,
Tonto could have set it off.
Or hell, I don't even mind if she shows up with a gun. and like hides behind a barrel or some shit. But I mean, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just saying that the character, she shows up once at the beginning and introduces us all to her awesome, gun leg, and then she disappears for almost 2 hours, and then she comes back at the end to shoot something and blow it up, and then that's it. That was her entire purpose in the film.
Yeah.
She was completely...
Her character was unnecessary. There was so much fat that they could have trimmed in this movie.
Yeah.
And that's sad, like you had said. They've already trimmed fat. They have already trimmed the fat for this. We're already rolling into this, and we have just layers of this lard of these worthless characters that mean nothing. Yeah. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to ask rhetorically. Rhetorically. I don't need a response. But why have we been reduced to that in filmmaking now? Why is it every time we turn around, we have to have things served to us we are not allowed to think for ourselves when it comes to movies. We're not allowed to have any imagination. I told you this last night while we were watching this. Psycho could never exist today, and this is my living proof. Because of asshole filmmakers like Jerry Bruckheimer and people like this and the writers of this movie who feel it necessary to explain every single thing. Hitchcock would have had to put the camera down while the girl was being stabbed and explain why she was being stabbed and how she was being stabbed. That movie is epic. And why is it epic? A word, number one, that me and you both hate. I'm going to use that word because that movie allowed a person to sit there and watch. And if you go back and watch that, you learn this in film school, you learn it in all categories of having to do with film, you never see a knife hit the woman's flesh. That never happens in that scene, in the shower scene. That never happens. Your mind puts the knife in there. The camera does the stabbing. All right? So that's imagination. That's called imagination. It's called imagination. It's called something that filmmakers used to have tons of, Spielberg being one of them. They allowed the viewer to just completely just get into the story and be entertained and not always have an explanation of everything. You don't always need that delivered. I am so sick and tired of this being done in movies. And we could sit here another 18 hours and show film after film after film nowadays where you people need explanations. Why? Why? Just let it be. What do we really need to know where the hell the Lone Ranger's mask came from and why? No, we don't need to know. You don't need to know. It doesn't need to be the crucial point of the story. There's a million other ways you can retell the story of the Lone Ranger without focusing in on the mask for the whole thing and making crack shots about it through the whole movie. What's up with the mask? Why are you wearing the mask? What's up with the mask? Who cares? He's wearing a mask. Maybe because he's bored. Maybe because he lost a bet. Who gives a shit? He's the Lone Ranger. Accept it. Why do you need those? Oh, man. Sorry. I could sit here. God almighty. I can't take it, man. I hate it. I can't stand not being allowed to have a brain as a viewer, as a kid, as a child of the 80s that me and you were, growing up and watching these films that just made us want to get into movies and made us want to make films. These people owe us more. And bottom line, that's where a lot of mine and this guy's anger comes from, is we demand more from our movies because we used to have it, and me and him used to take it for granted. We didn't need all this. Bruckheimer could have made that movie for like $5 million, and it could have been infinitely better. I've seen shit on the Hallmark Channel that were more entertaining, summed up the point of the story, and were just made me feel awesome at the end, which is really all you're supposed to do. Dude. Fuck. With the bird seed and God almighty, man. And then, oh God, don't even get me started on Silver. Suddenly this horse is like Kung Fu Hero. He can just like do all this shit and run through the walls and levitate and what the fuck. So I'm taking all the camera time. And you jump in here anytime.
No, that's fine. I don't even know what to say now. I'm just so...
It sucks. It sucks,
yeah,
man.
I'm so worn out after watching this thing. It's just like...
All right, we can go to, Depp's performance. Let's do that. I want to hear your perspective on that.
All right. First of all, I guess I appreciate that they were trying to avoid the noble savage stereotype where he's just, in touch with the spirits, and he can, he does all this shit to save the Lone Ranger, and blah blah blah. He's awesome, and they gave him some quirks. They gave him some issues. So he was an actual character. I mean, he had a tragic backstory, blah, blah, blah. But they went so fucking over the top with these quirks. They went so crazy with this shit. With the fucking birdseed and him... Oh, God.
Acting like Jack Sparrow.
Basic. I mean, it's the easiest... the easiest and most accurate way to describe it is that this was Jack Sparrow with a fucking dead bird on his head. That was,
Well, didn't we even get some British in there? I clearly pointed it out, and you're like, yeah, you're right. It was like bleed over Sparrow British.
I'm kind of surprised that, at no point he turns to the Lone Ranger and is just like, Savvy, Kimosabi? Like,
I know.
It's just like, he was, when he was walking like Jack Sparrow, he was,
Oh, when he did the runs. That got you. It got me. Was...
Yeah.
Or when he, that was in the beginning of the movie, when he's narrating, and he does that scene where he looks at the camera and he does that to the little boy.
Yeah. Yeah. He made a lot of choices to try to make this character unique, but he's gotten to a point where he's gone all Marlon fucking Brando on it. Like, why don't I wear this white makeup on? That's what Brando did on the island of Dr. Moreau. Everybody was waiting for him to show up, and he shows up on set, and he's got this white paint all over his face, and he's like, wouldn't it be cool if Dr. Moreau was afraid of sunlight?
These actors with their bullshit.
They're when you've got a big star in your movie...
You want to humor them, right?
You want to humor them because... people will go see your movie if they know someone famous is in it. Here's the thing. It's a lot easier for you to get someone to go watch your movie if, like, Johnny Depp is in it instead of, like, if your stupid ass is starring in it. Like, nobody knows who you are.
Nobody knows who the hell I am or you.
Yeah. Maybe we might be able to make a cool trailer and show them and they'll be like, wow, that looks interesting. I'll go see it. But if it's a cool trailer and someone they like is in it, then they're a lot more likely to go see it. So people hire Marlon Brando.
They hire Johnny Depp.
They hire Johnny Depp. They would hire these people,
but
even if they had a bad reputation, like fucking Val Kilmer or whatever, they would still hire them because there are still people who are fans and will come and see this movie if it's got somebody in it. And it's like...
And that holds more true now probably than ever because that's all they have to rely on are names. They don't have talent anymore. Let's be real about this. They don't. They have no talent. Most of these actors now are terrible. Is it Jai Courtney? Fucking whatever. That guy is awful. You know which guy I'm talking about? I know which guy you're talking about.
They've been putting him in all these fucking action movies lately, like the new Terminator, the new Die Hard.
A couple years before that, it was Shia LaBeouf. They were just pushing that kid on everybody and putting him in everything. And
Here's the thing, Shia LaBeouf he's a train wreck. He's absolutely ridiculous, but at least he has some sort of personality. These fucking guys like Worthington and Courtney.
Charming Potato. Nice guy, but come on now, be real. He has no personality. Mr. Magic Mike. Probably more so than what's his name that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Who's really just straight-faced and you could strike a match on his nose and the guy wouldn't even move.
Okay, we have totally
this is
bad. But hey,
we're just gonna have to edit.
Yeah, at some point we'll have to stop. So
we've already lost audience.
Okay,
that's fine. We can just keep talking.
Quick break, and when we come back, we will try to stay on track and actually discuss the Lone Ranger.
Yeah.